It's been a while since I've recorded videos just because of everything that's been going on between like us going on a trip and coming back and then losing power and the hurricane and everything, that I like feel like I forgot how to like talk to a camera. Like, I don't know. Anyways, welcome back. If you are new here, my husband Jason and I are building out our 2019 Ram ProMaster extended 3500 high roof. I don't know how to say the whole thing, but a wee little update. We had a yard sale yesterday and we went to move the van, but the van wouldn't start and then the key got stuck. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen. We're going to try to jumpstart it today. This is going to be the first of like the things that I'm sure happen with the van. So, I mean, we knew this was going to happen at some point. We just didn't know it was going to happen before we hit the road. Keep you updated on that. But what we are doing today is we are installing our floors. Now let me show you. And what we're gonna use are clearly I've taken them out of the box. I'm not that strong where I'm just like, bleh. So we are using SmartCore. That's the brand we're using. We're doing luxury vinyl planks. They're premium waterproof. We wanted to make sure that they were waterproof because, and also like thicker scratch protectant, because there's just going to be a lot of foot traffic. There's going to be us and the dogs and mud and water and whatever. That's just, they're going to get messy. We've heard really good things about this brand. It was probably a little bit more expensive. It was like a little bit more than what we were planning on spending, but honestly, not that much more. I thought we were going to spend like maybe $300, and I think it was like probably about $320 on 5 boxes. Now we bought more than what we probably need, but just because I didn't want to have to go back to the store and then if we needed more. So we can return whatever we don't use. We were kind of debating of how we were going to do these floors too, because sometimes people will wait to do the floors until all of their furniture is in and then just use a little bit of flooring for the exposed parts. And we thought about doing that because it would be a lot less weight and a lot less money because you're buying a lot less product. I feel more comfortable personally if we did all of the floor with this, because let me show you this. A lot of people use, like, they build their own subfloor using whatever. I have no concept because we didn't build a subfloor. What this is this is the factory floor that came with it. And some people, they take it out because they don't want to use it or whatever, but we thought, why waste a perfectly good subfloor? Why can't we use this? I don't see why we can't. So the reason why we wanted to put down the vinyl flooring throughout the entire van was because even though our subfloor might be like water resistant and it's, again, the factory floor, so it's meant for some wear and tear, it's not like waterproof like these are. So even in like the garage space or where we're going to put like the water tank thing. So we just want to make sure that it has like full protection for any water interaction that happens throughout the entire floor. And there is my husband.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. So I'll show you what they look like. These are the floors. They are pretty light, but we like these. Oh, you can't see. We like these because they have like some knots in them. So it looks, I know that it doesn't look super duper real, but I think they're pretty. Yeah, you can see some are like different shades. And they have this like underlayment already in them as well. This like rubber grip stuff, and should be pretty easy. So we'll walk you through as we go along. But before we start the floors, we need to see what's wrong with our van. We're gonna try to find out if it's a battery issue or an alternator issue, which we think it might be one or the other. And crossing fingers, it's the battery.
I was like, this tag is really annoying, right? Look at this. I was like, this tag is really annoying. And so I went to grab it and pull it off, and it says, do not remove.
Oh. Oops. Maybe just pull it down towards the middle.
There's perfect.
There you go. All right, here we go. There we go. So we're gonna take it to AutoZone to, once it charges a little bit, to see first. See if it's just the battery. Supposedly, from what Jason read, is that if it jumps and then it turns off after a little while, it's the alternator. So we'll see. I don't know. We went to the store and we think it's our battery that needs to be changed. So we've never changed a battery in the car before, as in Jason's never changed a battery in the car before. No, but we figured that we would kind of do the whole kill two birds. So he's gonna work on changing the batteries, and then I'm gonna work on getting the floor started. So hopefully we can get it all done today. Thankfully, YouTube exists, so that's what's teaching him how to change the battery, and that's what's teaching me how to do the floor. So, but the first thing that I need to do is I've already like cleaned up the floors a little bit, but then I realized, let me show you this. If we put the floor down, it's gonna cover up all of our measurements and our markings. I double checked. I had this written down somewhere before, but I redid some of the measurements just to make sure. They're a little general, but we wanted to get at least some kind of layout written down. So that way we didn't completely remove the tape and lose all of our ideas that we had. So yes, I'm gonna clean up the floor and then get started on our beautiful wood floors. Well, pseudo wood floors, but you know what I mean. While I do this, I can explain a couple things. Before you put down the vinyl floors, you want to absolutely make sure that the floor is clean, that your subfloor is clean, because you probably, if you're, building out a van, there's probably a lot of sawdust and just dirt and paint and whatever else, metal shards for all you know. So you want to make sure everything's super, super clean, and you want to make sure that it's dry. That's the other part too, because you don't want it to collect any moisture. There's like condensation from this morning, so we waited until it was all definitely dry before even starting this. So yeah, make sure it's clean, make sure it's dry. We're also not perfectionists, so we know there's going to be probably a little bit of stuff. There's like these holes where these I don't even know what those called are, but they came with the subfloor to keep it down, and they have little like latches to hold things onto, or strap things to. So we just need to push all of those down, and we're going to take out some of the stuff that collected in there, but anything that could cause long-term damage would not be good. So I'm gonna finish doing this. The first thing, I guess the second thing we're gonna do is now we can put the floors down, right? So basically we're gonna start at the wheel well. Usually from what I've seen, they say to leave like a little bit of space for expanding. That happens with weather changes and just over time. But for the most part, we're gonna come pretty close up to here, not too snug. And then we're gonna come pretty much right up to the edge of where our subfloor starts. So we're gonna start here. We need to make sure that we're able to connect it. So we have, this is the tongue, right? This is the little lip, this is the tongue, and this is the groove. So the groove we're gonna put up against the wheel well right here. And then we're gonna take our next piece, and again, we have our tongue on this side, so that means we're gonna need the groove on this side. And I haven't done this before, but I feel like I've seen it. It can't be that difficult. So
you said it.
I said it. I said the magic words.
Can't be that
All right. I guess just clip it into place like that. It looks clipped. I think that's it. I might need a second set of eyes on this, but it can't be that easy. Can it?
You can. They're pretty straightforward.
Did I do it right?
Whoa.
There's like a little gap right here.
Yeah, that's correct.
This is okay, so feel it. If there's...
Yeah.
That was so much easier than I thought. So yeah, there might be, it looks like there's a little gap but in the bottom, but there's not. Like, it's all together. Voila. I'm gonna try one more piece and it should fit, and then when we get down there, we might have to do some cutting. Moment of truth.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong?
Did you do it?
I did it.
Yay! Babe, you're amazing! Yay! The power of YouTube. So at the end, it's not gonna be a full piece, so we're gonna need to trim this down. This is where it's gonna get tricky, because what it actually is I'm gonna show you here. So this right here is like a curved piece that we need it to be. So instead of measuring where we're gonna cut it from here to here, we're actually gonna do it to the longest part. So the longest part is where the curve ends, which is about here. And again, we have to take into consideration how the groove is gonna attach, because as you can see, we were a little bit off there, but it's not a huge deal. And we're gonna use this guy to make a straight edge along this here. So we know, again, we want it to be lined up where it's not curved, which is about there. This line right here is where we want to take the X-Acto knife. I need 2 hands for this. So I'm gonna take the X-Acto knife and I'm just gonna like make a line, a straight line across here. Nice. And so I'm just gonna do that line a couple times here. Boom. Just like that. I need to do it the other way now. Voila. So this is where we're gonna need to use the jigsaw. So let's figure out how we're gonna do this piece. So can you say what you're doing?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
What I'm doing. We need this piece to fit in this spot, but obviously we have to trim some stuff off. So we're just gonna guesstimate this stuff because we're gonna put a piece of trim here eventually. It doesn't need to be perfect, but we know that the line's got to start here, right? So I just marked this, and we know that the line is going to end, you know, the highest point of this little curve, oops, is going to be somewhere around here, right?
Right.
Right. So
yes, I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
So ultimately we need to do the same curve like right here, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're going to recreate this little curve right here, and then we're going to take a jigsaw and cut it off. Does that make sense?
It does.
That's
Coming along.
That's about it.
Nice.
Will that work?
I think that'll do.
Like if the wood was longer, it would go further, but
it's okay. I don't think it needs to be like perfect. Like I said, I think we're gonna add some kind of trim there anyways, because we don't know what that whole part's gonna look like yet. So yeah, this is great. Nice. Okay, I know, I'm being anal. That's it. Wasn't a great angle.
no. You want to take it out and do it again?
Nope. I'm gonna keep going.
For a better angle?
Nope. So freaking stinking cool. This is gonna look so good. So let me show you now, like, so you can actually see when you have a piece that is going into both short waist and long waist. Let me show you. So some people say, you know, to put it in long waist first and then to hammer it, or not hammer, but to mallet it down. I don't personally feel super comfortable with that and confident that I'm not gonna just like chip this edge or something like that. So what we've been doing, and it's probably more difficult, but we've been going in first on this side instead to make sure that that's locked in, and then been locking in long ways instead. We can just do a little tippy tap. For ours, I mean, you ideally want it to get nice and snug, right? So you can see there's no breathing room in there, right? So right now, it's lifted. And that's just because it's not fully locked in. So we're gonna use the mallet. Make sure she's nice and snug. So now we are gonna do this for the whole rest of the floor. So here we go. That it like fits almost perfect. Like there's a tiny little gap there, but it's not even that big a deal because our water tank's gonna go here. So, and like this is where all of our electrical stuff's gonna go, but like you won't even see this. So it's like, it's perfect. It's perfect. So close. So now we need to do this front piece, which is not the width of a full piece. We essentially just measured the size that we need, and we're using another plank as our straight line because it's all that we have that's the proper length. So, because this is what's gonna help to be able to split it. And I'm gonna do this a couple of times. I don't know if you can see that. The line's there. So now we need to crackle-ack. How are we gonna do that? This is gonna sit on the edge. I want to film the final.
Oh, it's backwards? Did I do it backwards? Ta-da!
Oh my gosh, our floor is done. Well, the vinyl planks are down.
They are.
Hot freaking diggity. Look at us all in one dang day. Shoot. And you changed a battery? What up? What up?
Nice
That
job.
looks so good. We're gonna do like a metal trim. It's like a corner shape, so it's gonna go maybe about an inch here and then an inch down here. So it's gonna whoop, whoop, and we're gonna do that all the way across here. And then we're gonna do it also by the sliding door. Jason has some idea that we're gonna like go to Home Depot and get this stuff tonight, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be tomorrow, but who knows? Maybe in a few minutes after we regroup. New day. Who dis? Okay, so what we decided for the trim, I don't know. We weren't entirely sure what we were gonna do, so we asked a couple people on this Facebook group what they did, and we asked Jeeves, we asked Google, we asked YouTube, we asked everybody. And what we decided to do, because it was an affordable and smart solution, was this stair guard. You see it? It's aluminum. It was like 16 bucks. It's 12 feet long. It's L-shaped, about, what was it, like an inch? 1 1/8 or something like that?
1 1/4.
1 1/4, something like that. And then it already has the holes drilled in, right? So we're just gonna cut the length of the two pieces that we need and screw it on in. But first we need to clean up because everything's a mess. We have no space to work on anything. We don't know how to keep this space clean. I don't know how people do it. They probably just have better organizational skills and things. So we have an extra piece, like some extra long pieces of the vinyl floor that got cut when we were doing some of these edge pieces. And so we have this gap that it's not going to be fully covered by the trim, but we still don't want anything getting in it. So we're literally just going to take these thin pieces and we're going to shove them in here because why not? Right? Like, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. We just want to make sure it's covered. That's all.
And it is.
And it is. We did the same thing in the back. We're gonna cut this piece so it's even Stevens with this, but we just raised it up just a smidgen because we think the little trim might be a little bit thicker, and we have these pieces here that could potentially get in the way. But that's okay. We're gonna sort it out, and then we got this little wonky thing over here that's sticking out, so I don't know. We're gonna measure from this black piece. 60 3/4. Got it. And we're gonna do this one.
I don't think it's gonna go further than this.
Okay, so that would be about 35 and...
Wait, go back and look at what your numbers are.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, 53. I'm back. I am upside down and backwards. This is a 53. Yikes. Maybe I need more coffee. I'm gonna use this metal file it down.
True.
looks freaking great. Looks great. Yeah, there's a little piece of wood over there, but ain't no thing. Ain't no thing. Now this one's done. We'll probably have to find something to put right here because you can see, like, we don't want any like water, moisture, or anything like that getting under there. We don't want like extra, like any mildew or anything. So we'll find something here. We put like a little piece of wood here to try to block it off. But yeah, so we'll have to find something to put here because it wasn't quite long enough. As you can see, it was good here, but not quite here. So, but that's okay. All right, so just a quick recap. For insulation, we used Havelock wool underneath our subfloor, which our subfloor, we used the factory floor that came with the van itself. And then we used LVP luxury vinyl plank flooring. The brand is SmartCore. We used a jigsaw for some of like the odds and ends pieces that didn't quite fit exactly correct. For the trim, we used a stair guard or a step guard, I believe is what they're called. Got them at Lowe's for about 15, 16 bucks. There's some screws just to hold it down. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty wild. This feels like the quickest and easiest part of our van build so far. We still have some spots like here on the edge, you know, like there's a gap here and it's kind of up and we need to add a trim, but once we start putting furniture and everything like that, things are gonna lock into place and then we're gonna add the trim after that. So, but for the most part, yeah, our floor is officially done. I think this one, I'm learning to not overthink everything. I think I get like a little bit anal with some of like the small details that in the long run don't even really matter and I get hung up on them. So this, I was just like, not a big deal. Not a big deal that there is this little corner here that is exposed. It's a leaf. Because no one's going to see it anyways, because it's going to be blocked off. Like, it's okay if there's a little bit of wood showing underneath the trim. Literally never even going to think about it later. So, yay for a semi-easy part of the van. Jason always says, like, not to say the words shouldn't take that long. Because I end up saying it and then it ends up taking like 3 times as long. Yeah, so stick around, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more that we have to do on this build before we even get started on traveling throughout North America. I mean, the next thing we're going to be working on is framing out the wheel wells to start building out the garage space and the bed and the box for the electrical system, which is going to be definitely something. It's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be a learning curve. So stick around, subscribe. We are also on Instagram @AdventureVan. Thank you for being here. It's super, super cool to see that 550 people are here watching us grow on this journey. And I'm hoping, again, now that things are a little bit back to normal, that there'll be more regular videos coming in for you guys to see. And plus, I just have a blast making them. So, yay. Thanks again. And until next time.